So when you just talked about this, you talked about it taking you 3 days to get right after this meeting. Explain a little bit about what it means and the toll it takes on you to have to go to a meeting like that and then do the work to get right.
Yes. Well, one, I felt like I was begging. I'm sitting in my house on a Mac computer, and I feel like I'm saying, please don't use that criteria. Because when you say that, although you say pre-existing issues, you think of overweight people, single moms. I have pre-existing issues. And my fear was even myself, because I have good insurance. But I still have jilted or not yet awakened physicians who still make mistakes in my healthcare. And so I think I left feeling, it's not just about job loss or making sure I wash my hands for 20 seconds. What if I, because of other things that I have to do as a Black pastor, the other extracurricular responsibilities I have, what if I missed that call? And did I make the right decision? And will they listen to me? And just because people say, or will they go back and make a have a different finding, but still list me on the white paper so that it looks as if they bounced off of people of color? So was I included or was I used? Will it make a difference? Do I get a ventilator? Was I just speaking for myself? Am I speaking for others? That's just painful. And you are just a part of a decision that means someone's going to live and someone's going to die. And they're quoting you. So yeah, just the heaviness, the weightiness of that in the midst of the ongoing pandemic struggle. Yeah, I just felt stressed. I felt uptight. I snapped on my staff. And I realized, you know what? I'm still uptight from 2 days ago. There was no reason for me to respond that way, except I just felt a small sliver of hopelessness coming out of that meeting. And so that's when I had to go and pray like the old folks pray, go for a walk, a drive. I like to cook. I like to create, to do some things to unwind, because this is wearing. This is wearing on me. I feel it. I can tell it. So Jesus is becoming more real to me than I've allowed Jesus to be in a long time, because I haven't regularly had to say, Lord, keep my mind. I don't know if you remember this, Dominique. You're younger than I am, but old folks used to pray that.
Yeah.
And there was so much oppression. They would say, Lord, keep my mind.
Yeah.
And, so, yeah. And when I tell the story,
there's forces tempting you to lose your religion. And so we gotta continuously be praying for God to keep our mind, but also just finding habitual practices to keep us healthy, to keep us sane. I think a lot of people have been pressing into that during the season of COVID, but we really do need to talk about, and we don't have to talk about it here, but I need to name some of the stigmas around getting counseling and therapy within our communities, and some of the ways in which, because of the systemic hurdles we've been talking about, it becomes an economic barrier to be able to have access to the healthcare that we need, physical healthcare, but also the mental, spiritual healthcare of meeting with counselors and therapists and spiritual directors, and not having access in the midst of trying to make sense of things like what we're processing right now. It's been critically important for me. I'm on virtually talking to somebody every single week to try to make sense of what it means to be a Black man in America right now. And
we need you healthy.
We
need all.
Yeah, wounded healers is a thing, but we don't need to be trying to be out there healing nobody or doing any kind of work in the name of Jesus when we haven't attended to our own mental health.
Get some help. Talk to someone. Listen, we feel the pressure of living in this world, and so we've got to stay in step with that pressure. So when the world pushes harder, we push harder. We don't stop praying. We don't stop reading our Bibles. But there are people who are trained to sit down and listen to us. Get a coach, get a counselor, get a therapist, because this pain will awaken old pain. So it's not just about this. This will awaken abandonment issues, issues of powerlessness, et cetera, et cetera. So I would say to my folks that are on the front line, get the help that you need. There's no shame to it. that might be why a lot of folks in this work die prematurely, because maybe they just had illnesses and just weakened their system. Get the help that you need.
Amen. Well, thank you again, brother. I really appreciate you. And you were the exact right person to talk as the vice president of the African American Ministers Association to really speak a perspective that represents a broader collective beyond yourself. And so I appreciate you taking the time to do this with us.
I mean, I'm honored to have been asked. Anytime you need me, let me know. Right. Keep up the good work and take care of yourself.
Oh, thank you. You do the same.